Pretty big spike in turnout this year in Indianapolis compared to the last municipal primary in 2019, with 17,000 additional votes cast. This year saw nearly 49,000 Democrats and more than 29,000 Republicans casting ballots. Compare that to 2019, when 35,000 Democrats and 18,000 Republicans voted. And looking just at Mayor Joe Hogsett, he received almost 1,000 fewer votes this year than his last election, despite the increased turnout from his party, facing some more serious competition on the ballot in this year's primary. Let's bring in our panel right now to talk about this past week's elections. With us today here in studio, Politico's Adam Wren, who's also the author of the Importantville newsletter on Indiana politics, UIndy political science professor Dr. Laura Wilson, Democratic strategist Brian Gaddy, and former GOP lawmaker Mike Murphy with us as well. Great to see you all. Mike, what do you make of those turnout numbers from Indianapolis, and does it suggest that Mayor Hogsett is vulnerable this coming November?
Well, if Hogsett actually lost votes from the previous one, where did the votes go to? Well, they went to Shackelford and they went to Shreve. If I were Hogsett, I'd be cutting Shackelford's grass every week through Labor Day to make sure she stays on the team.
We'll see if those votes end up coming her way. Interesting news you were looking at this week, too, with the city taking control of this hotel project.
Well, we have Moscow on the Right River with Joe Hogsett now. He's going to raise all the downtown property owners' taxes, even though he couldn't get it through the council back in 2018. And now he's going to own his own hotel. I mean, the Hilton is going to be a city-owned hotel, which has never been done in Indianapolis before. So if he has trouble filling the hotel, he can just undercut all the private sector hotels by $50 a night and keep his little hotel full. It's crazy, it's socialistic.
Well, we'll see how all that plays out practically and politically. Speaking of politics, though, Brian, what's your response to this week's primary and to those turnout numbers, and to Mike's thoughts on all of that? Will those Shackelford voters come back in November to vote for the mayor, do you think?
Oh, they'll come back home. State Representative Robin Shackelford, she's a good Democrat, and there's no doubt about it. The team is going to get behind, our team's going to get behind Mayor Hogsett, and Mayor Hogsett will be reelected because Marion County is a Democratic county. It's a blue county, and it gets bluer every election cycle. And I'm sure my Republican friends don't like to hear that, but hey.
But there's some different dynamics.
They have a bad habit of not wanting to hear the truth. So.
But there is a divide, you know, in both parties at different levels, right? In the sense that at the local level now, slating is no longer an option. This primary saw a lot of turnout, a lot of enthusiasm, and even some longtime council incumbents who got defeated on Tuesday night.
Well, that's just the way politics works, but there's no doubt about it. Since we have our new chairperson, Mila Eldridge, turn up is up. She's doing a great job. I think she's one of the best chairpersons we've had over the Marion County Democratic Party in a long time. And having her, along with obviously the Shackelford voters coming home, Mayor Hogsett will be reelected. He will definitely be reelected.
Laura, this primary saw some actual competition there, as we mentioned, even though these mayoral races weren't incredibly close, 20 and 40 points. There was some competition compared to last time around. We've also heard a lot of people talking about that move to get rid of slating at the local level, the impact that has on turnout and general enthusiasm for the process.
It definitely plays a role. And I think you see with the abolition of slating, with new districts, the fact that you do have competition, and that's true for both sides of the aisle at the top of the ticket for mayor, that's going to influence voters, and that gets them excited and motivated and engaged. I think that's a large part of why we had such great turnout, in addition to the fact that we're continuing having voting places that are expanded and just more ways that voters can participate beyond just that particular Tuesday.
Adam, what else stood out to you in terms of other races across Indiana? You've covered that race in Carmel, where Sue Finkam surprised some people with her close win on Tuesday night.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I think Kevin Woody Ryder was seen as the favorite, had a significant cash advantage, but Sue Finkam really turned out a lot of her voters. A number of Democrats crossed over in that primary to vote for her to shape the election that we'll see in November. I think Miles Nelson, the Democrat, has the first real shot that any Democrat has had in 30 years to become the mayor of Carmel.
We'll see what happens there. All right, from 2023 to 2024, let's talk about the race for governor now. Jennifer McCormick making it official this past week, the former Republican now running as a Democrat. Mike, will that be a difficult needle to thread for her?
Well, she's not going to win. She may be a nice lady, but she's not going to win. I mean, first of all, the Republicans don't trust her because she's a traitor. Democrats won't trust her because nobody trusts a party flipper. It just doesn't happen. And so she risks becoming the next Bobby Hidalgo Kern of the Democratic Party.
Brian, what's your response to that? Will some Democrats be looking for an alternative who was not quite recently a Republican candidate?
Ask yourself, why did she flip? Because your party has become so extreme. You become controlled by the MAGA
She
Republicans.
flipped because she was ineffective in her job as a
She-
Republican, and she was marginalized because she didn't know what she was doing.
She flipped because your party has gone off the deep blue or red end, I guess you could say, being Republicans, because you've gone too far extreme. That's why you're losing the suburban counties. And that's why Indiana is more and more becoming a competitive state, because you guys have gone too far to the right.
Thank God we're still the reddest state in America.
We'll see how it all shakes
You
out.
definitely are not.
I'm
No
sure we'll
way.
have this
Not at all.
conversation a lot between now and November. Adam, you spoke with Jennifer McCormick recently about the difficulty, though, of changing parties and some tough questions that she's had to face about things like who she may or may not have voted for personally here in recent years.
Yeah, couldn't recall who she first voted for as president of the United States. Wouldn't say who she voted for in 2016 when she was actually on the ballot. And though she said she voted for Hillary Clinton that year, wouldn't, and she disagrees with her on some policies, wouldn't outline what those policies are. And so, Democrats I talked to believe that she has a lot to clean up in this early days of her campaign launch.
All right, finally, let's talk about the end of session here, Laura. Governor Holcomb signing the budget bill this past week. He also signed the controversial bill dealing with names and pronouns. Bottom line, he didn't veto any bills this year, which is notable since in recent years, a number of his vetoes have been quickly overridden by the General Assembly.
Well, exactly. It seems that vetoes in the past haven't really been effective, and that probably played a role. But I think also you saw a lot of tension playing out in the Indiana General Assembly between the chambers. And that's part of the legislative process. Sometimes it plays out in the legislative branch. Sometimes it's between the legislative and executive. At least this session, it seemed that it was more between the House and the Senate versus necessarily that with the governor.
All right, our thanks to the panel. They'll be back in a couple minutes. Up next, lawmakers discuss a bill that may reduce an upcoming spike in property taxes. What's it going to mean for you? We'll take a closer look up next.